Welcome one and all to another episode of the Nerd Today podcast. I'm your host, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, aka your Nerd Today, Carlos Rodriguez. How are you? I hope you're well. And before we kick it off real quick, I want to give a special shout out to the patrons that help make Nerd Today a thing. We'll give a shout out to Hopefully Awesome Matt and Maggie. Love you guys so much. Check them out. youtube.com/hopefullyawesome. I believe that's your URL. I always forget it. I should just look it up. We have Rest Pass, my partner in crime over at Apron Work Podcast. You can check us out on YouTube if you just search Apron Work Podcast. As well, we have Susan, Brandon, and Jeff. Thank you so much for supporting me. These are for February because we are literally filming on the last day of February because there's a big preview embargo that was lifted today, and we're going to talk about it. Now, I was not, lucky enough to be part of this, embargo release, but it's fine. One day we'll be there. It's okay. One day, your boy Carlos is going to be writing about Final Fantasy XVI, I guess, or 13, or no, 10-3. Who knows? When would they actually do that? But I wanted to talk about Final Fantasy 16 preview roundup. Some of the stuff that I saw some videos from IGN, Gamatsu, awesome article from Michael Hyam over at Ars Technica. And as well, he went on Kind of Fundy's Gamecast. The most recent episode of the Gamecast is all about his impression of Final Fantasy 16 from his preview event. So I wanted to just kind of go over some of the stuff I saw here. The bulk of it's going to come from Gamatsu. They kind of killed it. They have like a short article, which everything's going to be linked down below, and then like 5 videos that are like super detailed, super long. So if you don't want to know anything going into Final Fantasy 16, listen, I understand. Don't watch this. Don't listen to this. If you want to go in super blind, if you want some details, by all means, hey, listen, I'm just regurgitating some of the awesome info that is out there from a bunch of these previews. Do me a favor, support them down below, click the links down below, check out the videos, shout them out on Twitter, do all that amazing stuff, man. But listen, I'm telling you right now, man, this game looks even better than I can even imagine. I'm been beyond excited about this. We have a new podcast starting soon, all about Final Fantasy. It's not specifically like we're not going to be breaking news and stuff like that, but it is a book club of sorts, which I've already announced on another project. And I've teased here a bunch of times. Chaos Bringers. And if you see me just randomly look away and not at my notes or whatever, it's because I have a new kitten and she is rambunctious, to say the least. So we're gonna go here with some of the notes I watched all of Gamatsu's videos and IGN's hands-on report. So we're gonna kick it off right here. Kind of repeating myself. Gamatsu's Sal Romano is the one who wrote the article, and then as well has some of the gameplay here. So they kick it off with going into a dungeon. The dungeon area shows off some of the adaptive trigger prompts you'll get while playing throughout the game, like opening the gate. And they mention, Sal mentions that you can feel the weight of the gate as you're like making sure you push down with the right trigger. So R2 on that. When you're lost, hey, you get unfiltered. I'm not cutting that out. That's like you stop being naughty. You're naughty. Naughty little girl. You can take that as you will if you just listen to audio. I'm not hitting on you. Or am I? Who knows? I'm not. I'm married. They did show Clive, the protagonist who you'll be playing as, fight some just like random soldiers in the dungeon area. Afterwards, if you get lost and you want to find out where you're going, you call on Torgal, who is the name of the dog companion you have within the game. He was seen in previous. Are you jumping up here or no? What are you doing? This is way better video wise. Torgal was shown off in other videos, as well as like a puppy and stuff like that. And in the beginning of the game, seems like you play as like a young Clive alongside Joshua, his brother. As well, we've covered that before in previous videos, which are linked down below as well. And I forgot to put my phone on silent, my watch on silent. Super professional over here on Nerd Today podcast, ladies and gentlemen, my non-binary folk out there. Yeah, so Torgal's the name of the dog. I don't think that's been announced or released as of until today, but you can like call on Torgal. He'll tell you where your next objective is, to kind of give you like an idea where to go next if you feel lost in the world. Though it is pretty linear. I mean, the spaces are open, more open than probably like, let's say, Final Fantasy 13, which is considered to be very linear. There was some more stuff. I think Michael Himes reporting has is like 35 hours to complete the story, if I'm correct. 11 hours of cinematics, which is insane. That's Metal Gear Solid territory, which I have just completed all of Metal Gear Solid games, which we'll get into that another time. But yeah, that's insane. That's crazy. But there's a lot of little cuts here and there, so I wonder if that's what counts as the 11 hours. Clive is accompanied by Sidolphus, the Sid of this universe, who's the dominant of Romnu. As we covered previously, the dominants are kind of people who are gifted these powers of the icons. The summons in this universe, they're called icons, with an E and a K in there for some reason, because it's like Mortal Kombat. Why not, instead of use a C, use a K? It's cooler. So Sidolphus, or Sid, will lead you. You only play as Clive. I mentioned below, you only play as Clive, but Sid will be in your fights with you, assisting. He's all AI generated completely. As well as Torgal, you can use the D-pad, which I'll show some of it at the end of this video. I took a screenshot from the IGN hands-on preview, and I just wanted to point out some things where we see there, and that I'll touch on here. So yeah, he's the dominant Romnu, which is lightning, the ward of lightning, I believe they mentioned. I did see this, as dominant of certain icons, there are like levels to Super Saiyan. So when there is a later fight, after you go through the whole dungeon area and show like how you pick up items and gil and things of that nature, they did show that the next video, which you can again see in the link at Gamatsu, was Clive versus 2 of Benedicta, who is another character. She is the dominant of Garuda. You can see her like have her sisters, her harpies, attack you. As that's happening, beforehand you see Sid and Benedicta, who have a history, attack each other. It's like when they tap into the power of the icon, it's similar to Dragon Ball. Like you are like Kaioken, so you glow a little bit and you can use some of that power, or almost the false Super Saiyan when we get Goku and Namek before he's fully Super Saiyan and things of that nature. And then that obviously progresses because Sidolphus and as well Benedicta can tap into that icon power and just transform into the icon. And it seems like they have control as well in their icon form, because Romnu has control later in another video when it's icon versus icon. But I did like that. A lot of it seems very anime based, at least to me as an anime fan, as an old school anime fan. I did see that. Another battle that they show, and again it's listed in Gamatsu's report, the battle with Benedicta plays out to me similar to the Rufus Shinra fight from Final Fantasy VII Remake, where Benedicta is kind of like very speedy, very like quick on their feet, and it has like different levels that is not necessarily seen. Pardon me, I'm still fighting cold. That's not necessarily seen in the Rufus fight. There's not like multiple sections to the fight, but like how quick, and you have to make sure you dodge like a lot of the attacks seems similar to the Rufus Shinra fight from Final Fantasy VII Remake. So that stuck out to me. There are limit breaks in this game. Limit breaks are making a return. They are right under the health bar, which again, I have an image from the IGN report. We'll touch upon that. Right under the health bar, there are gauges similar to a fighting game, which is not a surprise because, the combat director is the person who worked on Devil May Cry 5, Dragon's Dogma, and for whatever reason, no one talked about this. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, one of the best freaking fighting games ever. Limit breaks when you activate, which seems like is L2 R2, so both triggers. You get like more power, more like dominant attacks. I'm sorry, I was looking at the word dominant for the people who work with the icons or their power. more powerful attacks to your enemies and things of that nature. There also is a stagger gauge, which I saw, and that also deals heavy damage. So I'm sure if you have your limit break up, stagger, let's say Benedicta, and like in this fight, she goes down and then you start wailing on her, activate your limit break, it's gonna be even more so, and then you just, you know, kick her down to however much to start either the second phase or, you know, attack or start the QTE. There's a lot of QTE stuff to make it more cinematic in this game, which I'm fine with. It seems like there's appropriate time limit to it. I wonder if there will be any accessibility options. I hope so, especially with how games have been going recently. I just don't want it to go the Soulsborne route or like From Software route where there's like, hey, this is the game, you just play it. I would love as many people to play this game as possible. So if there's any way you can have like different color options, I mean, listen, it's coming out on Sony PlayStation 5 exclusive. I don't know if that will change down the line to be an Xbox in any way, shape, or form down the line. But listen, Sony with accessibility in their games absolutely kills it. Absolutely kills it. They have so many accessibility options. I feel like somewhere in Naughty Dog or whoever works like Horizon or whoever needs to break off and just have accessibility division, which I think there is something similar. But I mean, like literally, like, yo, you want this game on here and it's going to be PlayStation exclusive, you have to have everything that's in Last of Us Part 1, everything that's in God of War Ragnarok, everything that's in Horizon. Those same options have to carry over to every Sony exclusive game, Spider-Man, all those natures. So I hope that it's just, or like maybe you don't need to do that. Again, this whole preview roundup is from 5 hours into the game. It's a select section. It's not going to be even reflective of what the game would be. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that will carry over in the release in June this year, but this was like a select cut section. Like, who knows if you're level 15 at that time, maybe you're level 30, you know. Things of that nature are going to be changed in the final product. So maybe those are things you can skip. Who knows? I think that would be really awesome. One of the last videos was the icon versus icon battle. I mentioned in previous videos as well. A big thing they're going around here is that they want the icon battles to feel unique. Every icon battle will be unique. They reiterated it again in this preview event to different outlets. That like the one we saw, and you can see, you know, in the links down below, was Ifrit fighting Garuda, and that was specifically made to feel, in their own words, as a pro wrestling match. Again, Apron Work Podcast, if you want to check us out, you know, we're a pretty awesome wrestling podcast. But I'd be remiss to not say, you want your 5-star matches, you want your 30-minute classes. Not me. No. What I want is 2 meaty icons bumping meat. If you know, you know, it's Biggie from the New Day, former WWE champion. He's awesome. Just saying. But yeah, they wanted that one to feel like a pro wrestling match. And Sal's like, he has like little things in his video. He mentions that one could be like a shoot 'em up. And I'm telling you right now, if one you're like playing as like Phoenix or whatever, and then just like turns into a shmup, I'm so in, dude. I thought that was so cool in Nier Automata, when you just start the game and you're flying. I'm like, oh cool, this is like RPG, and you just run around. So I was like, nope, it starts as a shmup, and then next thing you know, you are a robot fighting giant robots. It's so cool. I'd be so awesome to see that. Also, I do love how Ifrit looks similar to Legendary's Godzilla design. Legendary, the, you know, motion picture studio who's been doing the American Godzilla movies recently. He's like real big, meaty. I'm not trying to do the Big E bit again, but he's like big, meaty, long tail, kind of like a snout, like a very like pronounced, like stubby snout on Godzilla. Ifrit seems to be in that vein. I thought it was really interesting. And as well, in that fight, Ifrit gets his arm cut off, and pardon me, a lot of people were mentioning the icon versus icon battle was very reminiscent, or gave them a lot of feelings of Attack on Titan. This specifically gave me feels of Attack on Titan, because Ifrit gets his arm cut off, and then you see like this glowing like icon aura in like the hole, I guess, like the gaping wound of an icon is just like glowing energy. And then Ifrit starts to regrow that limb. And as he's regrowing the limb, you see like the bone come out, you see the muscle tissue, the sinew like wrap around, and then you see the like the layers of the muscle and everything, and the skin finally grow back as he boom punches down a Garuda. And I also like freaked the hell out. I thought that was so cool. I definitely popped big, and I was like, that's Attack on Titan 100%, 100%. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like my quick things from watching the couple videos they have out there. Listen, I hope you're excited as well, but before we go, I wanted to show some of this. This is more for the video watchers. This is a screenshot I took from IGN's hands-on preview. As you can see here on the right of the screen, pardon me, I keep coughing horribly. You can see Torgal on the, I'm sorry, I want to say the bottom left. We want to start there. So you see on the bottom left of the screen right here, Torgal has some options that you use with the D-pad. It seems if you hit left, you can cycle through Torgal or like your items, potions, things of that nature. So if you hit left, it gives you like your items, and you hit up for potion, right for whatever you put that to, down for whatever you put that to. But you go hit left again, go back to Torgal. You hit sick, which is his attack, heal, which will heal you, which we'll get to in a minute, which I don't necessarily think it's strange that he heals. I just think it's strange that Clive doesn't, and I'll get into that in a moment. And I guess he has a range attack as well. I do love at one point in the Benedicta fight, some story stuff happens, and Torgal comes back into the fight big way, and like Clive and Torgal all running. It's like super anime. I was getting hype. I was getting super hype watching the video, and they like crisscross each other, and like, they're attacking, like Clive's slashing, Torgal's biting. Torgal does this thing where he bites Benedicta in the neck, but it's like light, I don't know, it's like not hard or whatever, but like does like a 360 spin, which automatically I'm cracking up because I'm thinking about hopefully also in there going back to Smallville. 360 spin around Benedicta's neck and just back to her chest, and kicks off of her, and she like grabs her neck like she's like choking, like she like got a chunk out of her neck taken out. Insane. I was like, oh my god, this looks so good. But yeah, I want to mention the heal thing. I think that's weird. Not that necessarily again that Torgal heals, it's just it seems like your first icon power that you're able to unlock and fight with and use like fire and special attacks is with Phoenix, the icon of fire, which is fine, but typically when you use Phoenix in Final Fantasy, it's it's associated with rebirth, so like it will bring your party back. I think it's been used for attack in some Final Fantasies as well. You can correct me wrong, and we'll get back to it when we do Chaos Bringers. But I saw that and I thought that was really strange and then Ifrit's also involved in some way, so there's like two icons that are specifically fire, or are they connected? What's the deal with that? And as well, in my head is like, if you're Phoenix, shouldn't you also have a healing spell, for rebirth? I thought that was strange as well. So yeah, I thought that was strange. On the top hand section here on the top left, you can see the L2 triggers is what has you cycle through your icon abilities. So at this moment in the screenshot, you're seeing Phoenix is activated. If you hit L2, Garuda will be activated, and you hit L2 again, Titan will be activated. The base magic does change, so like arrow would be for Garuda, since that is wind. Ifrit fire, so you can just hit triangle, that's your long range attack. I wonder what Titan is. I didn't actually get to see or screenshot that. I was kind of living in the moment, which is nice. There's special attacks you can do with square, and as well there's like this like Phoenix thing, the Phoenix shift, I think they call it, with circle. And they can mention like that closes the gap. Like your enemy could be really far away. If you're fighting Benedicta, you hit circle, right trigger, circle, just bounce your way all the way over there. As well as cool, you can do something, you can queue something up where you use, like, let's say Phoenix's fire attack, like the special R2 attack, shoot that fire attack to them, they get hit, Next thing you know, you switch over, because there's a cooldown, switch over to Garuda, throw them up in the air with like a wind attack, and then use like Titan's like special Titan blast, like his like rock hit, to like knock him like crazy. I think I called it at the end, so I'm sorry about that. You can tell again that the combat directors from like Devil May Cry 5, that's like switching, like I'm using, you know, Nero's sword, the Rev sword, I forget what it's called. Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna lose my nerd card. Frank, don't come for me. Like you use that, and then out of nowhere you're switching to like nunchucks for like Dante or whatever, or like you're using Rebellion, you know, and things like that. Very Devil May Cry, very like Bayonetta and stuff like that. It's really cool. I really dig that. And then finally, yeah, I wanted to touch on the top left thing as well. So you see your HP as numbers. There's 830, but that's what the green gauge is. That is your HP. We've talked about it before. It's very fighting game-esque because, again, combat director worked on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. No one's talking about it. I don't know why. Like, that would be the first thing I mentioned. Every Discord group, I'm like, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Devil May Cry 5. You know, best fighting game ever. Come on. Then your levels right there as well. So Clive in this moment in this hands-on preview is level 13, and then these two gauges below is what I mentioned. These are the limit breaks. You can see here like Clive has his limit break at full. If you were to use that, like activate your limit break, I think if you're Phoenix, like some fire engulfs you, and then you get like fiery attacks, but you get stronger attacks. Again, you can take out those people. So that's a lot of info in a very short amount of time and very quickly with a very sore voice. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my return. I've been, surprise, surprise, sick yet again because there's plagues just going around the whole world, and my immune system is not what it used to since I've had children. But yeah, so we are doing the thing. We're trying to get back to it. I have a streamer at the Decathlon. You can follow me on my socials. You can see down below if you're watching on youtube.com/nerdtoday. Thank you for supporting me. You know, like, share, subscribe there. If you want to listen to audio, anchor.fm/nerdtoday, twitter.com, and /, you know, nerd_a_day takes you to my page. I'll have more info on my streamer decathlon team Beard in the Hair, which I would be doing with one of my Chaos Bringers cold host. I mean, he's from Canada, so he's probably cold right now. Stupid joke. Harv, yeah, I'm part of that team. So I think we're doing some code names, some Uno, some Fall Guys, which I've never played before, some Overcooked, which I've never played before. I'm probably gonna do my own stream so I can learn how to play these games before I have to just get thrust into and make sure my team doesn't lose. You know, typical Nerd Today Carlos stuff. So follow me on those, and then as well, you know, I mentioned this on, I think, my first official internet thing, blabbing about it, not teasing it or not overtly teasing about it. We will be starting a podcast soon called Chaos Bringers. Me, Frank, and Harv. Frank and Harv are from Pip. They are amazing. I've been on their stuff a bunch of times. I love them. They're absolutely just amazing people. Everyone at Pip is just awesome. They're just, again, just some of the best people on the internet. You should follow them. They're hilarious. Mario has been giving me opportunity after opportunity, and I've been more than grateful to have that man in my life. They've been like one of the best people I've met, and then now I've met more people because of them, you know. And now we're starting a new venture with Chaos Bringers. Like, Nerd Day podcast is still gonna be a thing where we break news and stuff. Chaos Bringers will be a podcast where we do a book club of sorts for Final Fantasy. So we'll be going through the numbered Final Fantasy games leading up to 16. Frank is way ahead of us. He is on 3 already, and not probably done 3 if you listen to Pip next week or whatever. Yeah, he's going, I'll beat 3, 4, 5. I'm done. You got to catch up. I'm like, all right, well, you know, I got 2 kids, Frank. I do not have time, and I am sick all the time. But as well as if you're watching this still, you're still at the end. Don't forget, support me at patreon.com/nerdtoday. And if you love horror, you know, I just did Murder with Mertens. Check that out. You know, youtube.com/Murder with Mertens. I talked about one of my favorite horror movies ever, Scream 4. It's awesome. Justice for Kirby. She's back, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Scream 6. Yeah. But don't kill her. I will be so angry. Do not. All right. Anyway, I've been blabbering too long. I got to take medicine. I got to go to bed. I got to edit all this. I love you all. Hope you have a good day. Bye.